Hello, and welcome to another segment of Communicast. This is community broadcasting, talking about the good things that good people are doing and really having great influence on our communities. With me today, I'm very excited to have Lucinda Kelly, a longtime friend and world traveler, who is founder of a company called Popertee. And they are based in Dublin, Ireland. And she's been, as far as I know, in London, Dublin, New York, Boston, different places, exploring all of the different trends of what can happen in retail. And she's also a future thinker of where business can go and what's going on. So I thought it'd be a great opportunity to see and check in what's happening at Popertee. And what are you thinking about these days after being in the same kind of quarantine around the world that we've seen? Welcome, Lucinda.
Hi, nice, and thank you. Good to talk to you.
So the company, as you have been running it, were pop-up retail experiences, as I remember it. And
correct. Yeah. So we were a marketplace, or we are a marketplace that connects brands with vacant retail spaces for pop-ups. So almost like an Airbnb for pop-ups.
Yes.
And with data available to give brands audience insights, helping with planning and measuring campaigns.
And how long have you been doing this?
So I set up the business in 2016
Okay.
from Dublin in Ireland, and then our HQ was moved to London in 2017 when Telefonica invested in us, and working away ever since and really getting to grips with the retail world and getting a deep understanding of where that's going and what's going to happen next.
And what's the reception from brands? Because I know you and I have talked in the past. There are some very big internationally known brands that have worked with you. And why do they go to this kind of concept, and what kind of results have they seen?
So there's two types of customers we have. It's marketers and retailers. And really the beauty about short-term retail or pop-ups is the low cost element. There's no long commitment for a lease agreement and similar. So the majority of our customers are sort of auto brands, tech brands, digital native, and food and drink, looking at new touch points or flexible formats where they can engage and acquire and retain customers better in the physical world.
Mm. I think at a time like this where people worry about what's happening to real estate itself, for the first time, there's such a high unemployment rate or furloughs that landlords are not collecting rent where they can, and I just read all of these things going on, devastating. And yet what you're talking about is without a long-term commitment, because I've been involved in the arts, and I've always thought when there's a space that's empty, the best thing you could do is put an artist in, let them clean up the space, make it look gorgeous, get interest in foot traffic, right? And you guys must measure things like footfalls and areas and communities where people pay attention, or you have that data.
Yeah, and I think, Keith, you've hit the nail on the head. It's not that physical space no longer needs to be about the sales channel. Let the online channel sell the product, and let the offline channel or that space be used for memorable experiences. So I think the challenge we have, and I think it's going to get easier after COVID, is letting or making landlords aware that it's okay to have an artist's paintings that are beautiful and not taking rent from that, because that's actually driving a new customer to the shopping centre or to the area because they're interested in it, and they might then spend their money in another shop. So what we're championing is experiences in physical spaces, and as we continue to see growth in vacancy rates, which is inevitable based on our current landscape, what we really want to champion is experiences and using spaces for other means to drive engaging experiences.
That's brilliant. I love the whole concept of it. So one last question for you. Having been under quarantine for some number of weeks, we've all forgotten what day of the week it is and how long we've been doing this. It's the new normal. But what's one takeaway that you have, something that you've learned during this period of time, something new or different?
So I have learned that there are amazing live streaming tools, whether it's the Zooms or the house parties or whatever people are using. But I believe looking ahead, there will be more specialized versions of live streaming available. And particularly with 5G coming in, I think my question and looking at our business and retail is, how do we embrace new streaming technologies and bring them to the physical world? And particularly, how do we bring them to retail and vacant spaces? So actually, the question I have to your community is, what can we do to sort of bridge the online and the offline, knowing that people will continue engaging through video experiences, but how do we bring that to retail? I don't know, that's a huge question, but that's what's going on in my head and with my co-founder.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me this morning. It's much appreciated. And as always, a pleasure talking to you and hearing the future that you keep looking towards. And it seems to approach faster every day. Thanks again.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Keith, for your time.